You grab your keys, you check your phone. Maybe you scratch behind their ears for a second. Or maybe you're already halfway out the door. And then it closes, and on the other side of that door, your dog is standing there, still, watching the space where you just were. You've always assumed they're fine, that they curl up, take a nap, wait for you. But science has spent years studying exactly what happens inside your dog's brain the moment you leave. And what researchers found is not what most owners expect. Because your dog isn't just waiting for you to come back. They're doing something far more complex, far more emotional. And by the end of this video, you're going to see the moment you come home in a completely different way. Welcome to Mindful Pets. If you love your dog and want to truly understand them, subscribe right now. 1. The last image. Here's something nobody tells you. In the final seconds before you leave, your dog is memorizing you. Not in a general way, not the way you'd glance at something and move on. They are reading you, your posture, the specific way you're moving, the sound your shoes make on the floor, whether you grabbed a bag, whether your energy feels rushed. Dogs have what researchers call a predictive brain. A 2020 study from the Family Dog Project in Budapest found that dogs don't just react to your actions, they anticipate them. Before you even reach for the door, your dog's brain has already run the calculation. This sequence of movements means they're leaving, and in that moment, something shifts inside them. Not panic, not sadness exactly, something older than both of those things. The part of your dog's brain that governs attachment, the same structures we find in human infants, activates. Because to your dog, you leaving is not an inconvenience. It's the temporary loss of the one thing their world is built around. You. And we're only 1 point in. Stay with me, because point 4 is the one that's going to stop you cold. 2. The silence after the door. The door closes, and for a moment, your dog doesn't move. They stand in the hallway, or at the window, or right where they were when you left. This isn't them being dramatic. This is your dog's nervous system doing something extraordinarily sophisticated. Scientists call it separation-induced arousal. The moment you disappear, your dog's cortisol levels, the stress hormone, begin to rise. Not slowly, rapidly. A 2019 study published in Scientific Reports measured cortisol in dogs' saliva before and after owner departure. Within minutes of being left alone, stress markers spiked significantly in the vast majority of dogs studied. Even the dogs whose owners swore were totally fine alone. Even the ones who weren't barking. Even the ones who weren't destroying furniture. The calm ones. Because here's what most people don't understand about how a dog experiences stress. They don't always show it the way we expect. Some dogs vocalize. Some dogs pace. Some dogs go quiet and carry it in their body like a weight they can't put down. Your dog may be one of those, waiting quietly, holding it together, for you. 3. What they do with your smell. But your dog doesn't just wait. They do something else. Something that, when you understand it, is almost impossible not to feel. They go looking for you. Not around the house, though sometimes that too. They go looking for your scent. A dog's nose contains 300 million olfactory receptors. Humans have about 6 million. For your dog, smell isn't just a sense. It's a language. It's memory. It's safety. Researchers at Emory University used fMRI scanning to measure which smells triggered the strongest reward response in a dog's brain. The scent that activated the caudate nucleus, the brain's reward center, more powerfully than anything else? Not food. Their owner's scent. Think about what that means. When your dog curls up on your side of the bed, when they drag your hoodie to their corner, when they press their nose into your pillow, they're not just smelling you. They're reaching for you, in the only way they can. They're doing the closest thing a dog can do to holding on. And point 5. Point 5 is where the science gets truly extraordinary. Because it's about what your dog's brain does when it hears your car turn onto the street. 4. They hear you before you arrive. You're still 15 minutes away. Maybe you're sitting at a traffic light. Maybe you're grabbing coffee before heading back. You haven't even turned onto your street yet, and your dog already knows. This is not folklore. This is not the romantic imagination of pet owners. This has been studied. A British researcher named Dr. Rupert Sheldrake spent years documenting dogs who began waiting at the door or window, not when their owners arrived, but at the exact moment their owners decided to come home. Across cities, across distances, regardless of whether the owner arrived at a routine time, the dogs knew. Now, the mechanism behind this is still debated in science. Some researchers point to infrasound, the low-frequency vibrations a dog can detect that humans cannot. Others point to the extraordinary sensitivity of a dog's auditory cortex, which can isolate and recognize a specific car engine, a specific set of footsteps from hundreds of meters away. But here's the part that should stop you. While you were going about your day, thinking, working, moving through the world, your dog's brain was oriented toward you. Not distracted, not occupied with something else. Pointed, like a compass that only knows one direction, and that direction is you. Hold that thought, because the next section is where it all starts to come together. 5. The neuroscience of missing you. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside your dog's brain. Not metaphorically, not emotionally, neurologically. In 2012, Dr. Gregory Burns at Emory University did something no one had done before. He trained dogs, voluntarily, without restraint, to lie still inside an MRI machine. He wanted to see a dog's living, thinking brain. What he found changed the field of animal cognition. The part of the brain that activates in humans when they experience love, attachment, and reward, the caudate nucleus, lit up in dogs in the same way. Not similarly, the same way. Dr. Burns concluded that dogs have the neural architecture to experience positive emotions, not just reflexes, not just instinct, emotion. Which means when your dog waits for you, they're not running a biological program. They're feeling something real, something that, if we're being honest, is not so different from what you feel when you're waiting for someone you love. We are almost at the end now, and the final 2 points, they connect everything. Because what happens when you walk back through that door is not just a reunion. It's something much more significant than that. 6. The homecoming they've been rehearsing all day. You put your key in the lock. And on the other side of that door, something extraordinary is happening. Your dog's brain, which has been in a state of mild, sustained stress for hours, floods. Oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin. The same neurochemical cocktail that humans experience at the moments of greatest joy. A 2015 study in the journal Science found that when dogs and their owners simply made eye contact, oxytocin levels rose in both of them. Not just the dog, both. This means the moment you walk through that door, the moment your dog sees your face, there's a biological conversation happening between the two of you that neither of you is consciously aware of. Your brain is responding to theirs. Their brain is responding to yours. And all that waiting, all those hours of quiet stress, of lying by the door, of pressing their nose into your hoodie, releases. In a single moment. Watch your dog the next time you come home. Not from the perspective of someone being greeted, but from the perspective of someone understanding what that greeting cost them, what they held all day, how much of their emotional world they invested in the simple hope that you would come back. Because here's what I need you to hear, and this is the thing that changes everything. 7. The final realization. Everything we've talked about today was pointing here. The way your dog memorizes you before you leave, the predictive brain reading every movement, the cortisol rising in the silence, the nose pressed into your scarf, the ears lifting at the sound of your engine before you've even turned the corner, the neuroscience that tells us, definitively, that what they feel is real. It all leads to this. Your dog has no concept of an hour. They don't know if you've been gone for 10 minutes or 10 days. What they know, what every part of their nervous system knows, is one thing. You were here, and then you weren't. And they waited. They waited in the way that only the most devoted kind of love makes you wait, without resentment, without distraction, without any other agenda. Just waiting, trusting. There's a word for that kind of love. We spend years searching for it in other people, and yours has been lying by the front door. So the next time you come home, even after an ordinary Tuesday, even when you're tired, even when the day was long and your mind is somewhere else, try to be there, really there, for 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. Get down to their level. Let them smell your face. Let the reunion be real. Because to you, you just came home. To them, you came back. And that is everything. If this changed the way you see your dog, even just a little, share it with someone who loves theirs, because they deserve to know. And if you want to understand your dog on a deeper level than you ever have before,
please subscribe to my
this channel is where you come to do that.
Just click the share button here.
We'll see you in the next one.
And don't forget the bell for notifications.
And go home to your dog.
Thanks.